There's a reason most people think tequila is only good for shots and margaritas. They've never tasted real sipping tequila. But here's what the marketing departments don't want you to know. The best tequilas in the world are meant to be savored, not slammed. Because the difference between mixing tequila and sipping tequila isn't just about age. It's about whether you're drinking liquid craftsmanship or industrial shortcuts disguised as premium spirits. Today, we're ranking 7 tequilas from absolute worst to surprisingly spectacular for sipping neat. And our number 1 pick costs less than bottles that don't even make this list. Real sipping tequila starts with Weber Blue Agave, slow-cooked in brick ovens, aged in carefully selected barrels, and crafted by people who understand that time and patience create complexity you simply cannot fake. But somewhere along the way, corporate accountants discovered they could add artificial flavors, caramel coloring, and glycerin to young tequila and call it premium aged, while charging premium prices. The result? A market flooded with products that range from liquid poetry to what can only be described as expensive vanilla extract with delusions of grandeur. So let's separate the authentic from the artificial, starting with our most disappointing sipping experience. Number 7. Teremana Añejo. Taking our 7th spot is Teremana Añejo. And yes, that's The Rock's tequila. Before you start planning my demise in the comments, hear me out. This ranking isn't about Dwayne Johnson's likability. It's about what's actually in the bottle. Teremana Añejo suffers from what I call celebrity tequila syndrome. It's designed to be inoffensive rather than interesting. The vanilla and caramel notes are so pronounced they taste artificial, which is concerning for a spirit that should derive its complexity from agave and oak interaction. When you sip Teremana Añejo, you're getting what tastes like vanilla extract mixed with ethanol and a whisper of agave. It's smooth, sure, but so is vanilla pudding. That doesn't make it good tequila. At $50 to $55, you're paying celebrity premium for what amounts to entry-level aged tequila. The Rock's charisma doesn't transfer to the liquid, and unfortunately, his production team seems more focused on mass appeal than authentic flavor development. The marketing emphasizes small batch and handcrafted, but the flavor profile suggests industrial production methods designed for consistency rather than character. It's tequila for people who want to say they drink aged tequila without actually experiencing what great aged tequila can be. Number 6. Olmeca Altos Plata. Olmeca Altos Plata claims our 6th position, and this one's tricky because it's actually decent tequila that's completely wrong for sipping. It's like wearing a perfectly good baseball cap to a black-tie dinner. Not bad, just inappropriate for the occasion. Olmeca Altos uses Highland agave and traditional production methods, which should create excellent sipping tequila. The problem is they've optimized everything for cocktail mixing rather than neat consumption. The flavor profile is bright, citrusy, and aggressive. Perfect for cutting through lime juice and triple sec. Terrible for contemplative sipping. It's like trying to have a quiet conversation with someone who only knows how to shout. Professional bartenders love Olmeca Altos for margaritas, and they're absolutely right too. But recommending it for sipping is like suggesting a race car for grocery shopping. Technically possible, but missing the point entirely. At around $30 to $40, it's reasonably priced for what it is. The tragedy is that many people try this as their introduction to premium tequila sipping and conclude that aged expressions must be better because this one's too harsh. Mid-engagement break. Look, I know some of you are probably thinking, this guy's being way too picky about tequila. But here's the thing. Once you taste what great sipping tequila can be, you'll understand why I'm so passionate about this. These next 5 are going to completely change your perspective. If you're enjoying this deep dive into what makes tequila actually worth sipping, hit that subscribe button, it'll really help us out. Now let's explore some truly exceptional spirits that deserve your attention and respect. Number 5. Siete Leguas Reposado. Siete Leguas Reposado takes our 5th position, and this is where we start seeing what happens when traditional production meets proper aging. Founded in 1952, Siete Leguas has been quietly making exceptional tequila while flashier brands grab headlines. Siete Leguas uses traditional brick ovens, natural fermentation, and copper pot distillation, the holy trinity of authentic tequila production. Their reposado rests in American oak for 8 to 10 months, just long enough to add complexity without overwhelming the agave character. The flavor strikes a beautiful balance. Bright agave notes from quality highland fruit, subtle vanilla and spice from oak aging, and a clean finish that invites another sip. This is what reposado should taste like. Enhanced agave, not masked agave. At $40 to $50, Siete Leguas Reposado offers something increasingly rare. Honest value in aged tequila. You're paying for actual aging time and traditional methods, not marketing budgets and celebrity endorsements. This is tequila that works beautifully neat but doesn't completely disappear in cocktails. The mark of a well-balanced reposado. It's sophisticated enough for contemplative sipping but approachable enough for everyday enjoyment. Number 4. Cascanes Number 7. Añejo Cascanes Number 7. Añejo claims our 4th position, and this is where we enter serious sipping territory. This isn't just aged tequila, it's aged tequila with a point of view, crafted by people who understand that time alone doesn't create complexity. Cascanes ages their number 7 for a minimum of 18 months in American oak, but more importantly, they're selective about their barrel program. Not all barrels are created equal, and Cascanes seems to understand this fundamental truth. The flavor profile is rich and layered. Cooked agave provides the foundation. Vanilla and caramel add sweetness without cloying, and subtle spice notes create a finish that evolves in your glass. This is tequila that rewards attention and reveals new nuances with each sip. At $90 to $100, Cascanes Number 7 enters luxury territory. But unlike many expensive tequilas, it actually delivers luxury experiences. The liquid justifies the price through genuine complexity and craftsmanship. The limited production means you won't find this everywhere, which is both frustrating and reassuring. It suggests they're prioritizing quality over volume, a rare approach in today's market. Number 3. Don Fulano Añejo. Don Fulano Añejo takes our bronze medal, and this is where we encounter tequila that transcends category expectations. Made at La Tequileña Distillery, this represents what happens when traditional methods meet obsessive attention to detail. Don Fulano uses a combination of tahona and roller mill extraction, wild fermentation, and copper pot distillation. Their Añejo program involves careful barrel selection and extended aging that creates genuine complexity rather than just oak flavor. The flavor is a masterclass in aged agave spirits. Rich caramel and vanilla from oak aging, but with underlying agave character that remains prominent. The spice complexity suggests careful barrel management and patient aging rather than artificial enhancement. This is small batch production in the truest sense. Limited quantities, careful attention to each barrel, and a willingness to sacrifice efficiency for quality. Don Fulano represents tequila making as craft rather than industry. At $70 to $90, Don Fulano Añejo costs more than mass-market competitors, but delivers exponentially more character. It's the difference between a handmade piece of furniture and something from a big box store. Both functional, but only one has soul. Number 2. Mijenta Reposado. Our silver medalist is Mijenta Reposado, and this represents something special in the tequila world. A brand that combines traditional production with modern sustainability practices and genuine innovation in aging. Mijenta isn't just making great tequila, they're making it responsibly. From water conservation to sustainable agave farming, they've proven that environmental consciousness and exceptional quality aren't mutually exclusive. Their Reposado program uses a combination of French and American oak, creating complexity that single-barrel programs simply cannot achieve. The result is layered flavor that reveals different characteristics as it opens in your glass. The flavor profile is extraordinary. Honey and floral notes from quality agave, subtle oak influence that enhances rather than dominates, and a finish that seems to last forever. This is tequila that makes you slow down and pay attention. Spirits competitions consistently recognize Magenta's quality. But more importantly, it's earned respect from tequila purists who are notoriously difficult to impress. When experts praise a relatively new brand, it means something special is happening. At $60 to $90, Magenta Reposado represents the sweet spot of premium tequila. Expensive enough to ensure quality production, but not so expensive that you're paying for marketing rather than liquid. Number 1. Tears of Llorona. Extra Añejo. Taking our top spot is Tears of Llorona Extra Añejo. And if you've never heard of it, you're about to discover why tequila connoisseurs consider this the pinnacle of aged agave spirits. Tears of Llorona uses one of the most complex aging programs in the tequila world. 5 years in a combination of Scotch whiskey barrels, sherry casks, and brandy barrels. It's not just aged, it's orchestrated. Barrel types creating a symphony rather than a solo performance. Production is extremely limited, and bottles often sell out immediately upon release. This isn't just tequila, it's liquid art that happens to be made from agave. At $150 to $200 plus, Tears of Llorona is expensive even by premium tequila standards. But when you consider the 5-year aging process and complex barrel program, you're paying for time, expertise, and genuine innovation in aged spirits. This is tequila that competes with the finest aged rums, cognacs, and whiskeys. It transcends category to become simply exceptional aged spirits that happen to be made from agave. Tears of Llorona demands respect and attention. This isn't tequila for casual consumption. It's for special occasions, contemplative moments, and understanding what aged agave spirits can achieve at their absolute peak. So there you have it. 7 tequilas that demonstrate the incredible range of what's possible when agave meets time, skill, and genuine craftsmanship. From disappointing celebrity cash grabs to transcendent liquid art, each represents a different philosophy about what aged tequila should be. Here's what you should remember for sipping tequila. Look for 100% agave. Understand that real aging takes time and costs money, and be skeptical of brands that prioritize marketing over traditional production methods. For sipping tequila, quality starts around $40 to $50 for reposados and $60 to $70 for añejos. Below that, you're usually getting mixing tequila. Above $100, you should be getting something genuinely special, not just expensive packaging. If you're new to sipping tequila, start with Siete Leguas Reposado. It's authentic, available, and reasonably priced. If you want to understand what great aged tequila can be, save up for Magenta Reposado and prepare to have your perspective completely changed. Because at its best, sipping tequila isn't just a spirit. It's liquid meditation, distilled patience, and proof that some things are worth waiting for. But here's something I didn't mention in this ranking. The shocking truth about how celebrity tequila brands are actually made, and why some of the most expensive bottles on the market contain the exact same liquid as products costing half the price. If you want to know which celebrity tequilas are legitimate craft spirits and which are just expensive marketing exercises, you need to watch this video where I expose the truth about celebrity spirits that the industry doesn't want you to know. Trust me, after you see what I discovered about how these brands actually source their tequila, you'll never look at celebrity endorsements the same way again. See you on the next one.